All right, let's take a look at the design by ratios. Here's a valve body. It's a typical part that I've worked with before in the past, and it is designed in such a way that certain features are ratios of others. In other words, it's kind of it's done by equations. So let's see how we can do that. And over here, we've got some place where we can list all those. So let's take a look. First, I need to be able to see the parameters, and I don't see it on my list here. So I need to go to this little arrow and come down a ways, and halfway down are parameters, and I'm going to check that. And now my parameters file comes up. There it is. And I can see that I'm going to shorten it up a little bit. See if I can get that a little bit shorter. There we go. And I don't know how to make it really a lot bigger, but you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that is about, there's 4 inches and things like that. Now I'm going to move it over here so that you can see it. If I change this 4 to a 6, you can see it instantly changes the size and everything still fits together. That's because all of the features are ratios of that number 4. So I'm going to change it back to a 4 now. There we go. And so I want to know what those numbers would be over here so that I can just check them out. Okay. Now the one thing that I don't have in here is overall length, so I'm going to just highlight those, and I'm going to give it a color that's like a gray color, just to show that I really can't do those ones. The seat through diameter is seat ID normal, so that's what it is. It's 1 times D0. So I'm going to put an apostrophe here and write 1 times D0. That's my formula for all of these. Okay, so D0 is 4. This would equal 1 times my design item of 4. And then I can copy that down. So that's what I want to be able to do. That is my D0. Let me make sure I can get this so you can see the whole thing there. D0 is my seat through diameter, 1 times that. My top flange offset. Now, how do I get that? So where does this thing sit? Well, I have to know how to read this. If I click over here, okay, that's my top flange right there. And its height is work plane 1 up. So it's placed on work plane 1. So I have to go over to the left and look at top flange and work plane. So that's the top flange offset. How far up is it? So I need to find my work plane 1. Work plane, there it is right there. And work plane 1 is 1 times D0. 1 times D0. And that's going to equal whatever is over there times 1. Okay, then it says my top flange OD. Let's see, top flange. I'm not seeing it yet. Top flange. Let me go in there and just see if I can find where that is. Okay, so again, I can go to my top flange and open this up and look at the sketch. I have to close this one down. Look at that sketch. It's something that's 9. It's got something that says it's 9. let me look through here for a number 9. There it is right there. So that's my top flange. It's 2.25 times D0. 2.25 times D0. So here it's going to equal 2.25 times whatever I've got over there. Down we go. So those are my top flange ODs. And I just had to figure out in one of them, and I get it for all other sizes. Input, output, flange, OD. Input, output, flange. So I'm not really sure what that one's going to be either. So I'm going to have to come over again and check my input, output, flange. IO flange. There it is. Let me look at the sketch. It's something times 2 or plus 2. Let's see. It is 4 plus 2 plus 2. It's probably like an 8 or something like that. Let me go and look and find out where that might be in here. D0 flange, flange, flange. I'm looking for that one. An 8, here it is right there. See if there's another 8 in here. Ah, no, I see what it is. It's D0 Now I'm trying to find it. I'm having a hard time finding it in this one right now. And I know it's in here. Let's just go look and see what it says it is. One more. Sometimes it's a little hard to find them. Let's go to that sketch and just double click. Oh, D0 divided by 2. So it's D0 plus D0 divided by 2 plus D0 divided by 2 on either side. So that flange OD D0 plus D0 divided by 2 plus D0 divided by 2. That's the flange OD. And then I can see that those two together equals D0. And D0 plus D0 is 2 times D0. So this equals 2 times whatever we've got over there. There we go. So that's how to do it. So there's different ways for you to look at this. Sometimes you can see it directly in the parameters if it's spelled out and it's just there. Sometimes you have to look at the sketch and find out what the dimension is and then go find it. And sometimes you look at the sketch and have to do a couple of adding of some ratios together. So those are the different ways that you can see how to do that. This is what I'm looking for. Okay? Then when I'm done, I'd like you to take this and make a table out of it. Convert to table. Once you've converted it to a table, you might have to adjust. That was with the shift command to get all those the same. I might have to adjust that width to get them to all show up. There we go. Now, that is what I would like to have submitted. All right, so there you go. Designed by ratios. And you can see the power of it, I hope. How you can quickly get from one size to the next, to the next, to the next.